Fluent Talk Podcast
from SayAndLearn.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're unpacking a really fascinating stack of source material that, on the surface, it just looks like a simple vocabulary lesson.
Right.
But when you dig in, it's this deep roadmap of, human behavior. We're looking at English phrases for daily routines and what these tiny differences tell us about how we organize our time.
It's incredible, really. Our whole mission here is to take these common, almost invisible actions, things we all do every single day, and just pull apart the crucial distinctions our language makes. It's about more than just definitions. It's about seeing the structure of, say, self-discipline versus self-indulgence. All through the lens of a few verbs.
And the sources gave us the perfect hook right from the start. They opened with this observation about the end of the day. Someone notes they went to bed at midnight, but, and this is the key part, they didn't actually go to sleep until 1 in the morning.
That 1 hour gap.
That 1 hour gap, that moment where you're physically in bed, but your mind is just, it's a battleground.
It is. And that gap perfectly captures the tension that runs through all of the sources we looked at. The language forces you to see that hour for what it is, resistance or reflection or something else.
So to really get that tension at the end of the day, we have to start at the beginning.
Exactly. We need to see how the whole conflict kicks off in the morning.
Okay, let's do it. So we begin with two of the most essential, but I think most carelessly used verbs for the morning. Wake up and get up. The source material is adamant these are not the same thing. And that distinction, that's where the day's first negotiation really begins.
It really is. It's the moment of decision. Wake up is, it's purely cognitive.
Okay.
It's the stopping of sleep. Your eyes open. You're not unconscious anymore. And it's usually triggered by something external, an alarm, your phone, the sun. But the key point here is you are still horizontal. You are physically in bed.
So my alarm goes off at, say, 6:45. I reach over, I hit snooze, I've woken up.
You have woken up.
But I've also formally rejected the start of my day.
Absolutely. You've refused. Because get up, on the other hand, that's the full physical transition. It's the moment you actually leave the bed. You sit up, you stand, you take that first step. That is the official start.
And the sources had these really specific and, very relatable examples of this gap, this transition time. One person said they wake up at 7:30, but only get up at 7:45.
That 15 minutes.
Everyone knows that 15 minutes.
Everyone does, and that delay is just loaded with meaning. Another routine described was waking up around 7:00, but then just lying there for, 10 or 15 minutes.
Right.
And the description of that time is so telling. It's about enjoying the quiet or enjoying the feeling of the bed being warm and soft, especially in winter. It's like savoring the last few minutes of peace.
Okay, but I want to push back on that a little bit, on it being pure leisure. Because the sources also said people use that time to check their phones.
They did.
Right. Scrolling social media, scanning emails.
Yeah.
So is this gap between wake up and get up just about biological readiness versus psychological commitment, or is it actually the first moment of digital distraction?
I think that's a crucial insight we can pull from this, because while the language sort of implies this passive resistance, the luxury of warmth, the modern routine turns it into something else.
Into work.
Into a proactive engagement with obligation, If you use that 15 minutes to check your phone, you've basically started the mental workday while refusing the physical one.
Wow.
It shows the tension perfectly. The body resists, but the mind immediately looks for distraction or for work. The linguistic difference isn't just about moving, it's about conquering inertia.
It sets the tone for everything else. You've used up your quiet time, now you have to move, and that brings us right to the cleaning routine. We go from deciding whether to start the day to deciding how fast to get through the next steps. And the sources detail this quick process. Have a wash, clean your teeth, and then the full body clean.
And this is where we see that efficiency choice right away. The sources are clear that have a shower and take a shower mean the same thing.
Okay.
Standing underwater, soap, shampoo, the whole thing, it's quick and it's functional.
But they also pointed out this really interesting linguistic split, didn't they, based on geography?
They do. British English strongly prefers have a shower. American English, it's almost always take a shower. And while, everyone understands both, it's interesting to think about what the verb implies.
How so?
Well, does having a shower suggest you possess that time, that it's yours? Whereas taking a shower might imply you're sort of extracting that time from your busy schedule.
A subtle window into how we view our time.
Exactly, it could be.
But whether you have it or take it, the sources make it clear, a shower is a tool. It's about efficiency.
Absolutely. The shower is defined as quick. It helps people feel fresh, alive. One quote even called it a hello to the day.
I like that.
It's for waking up the sleepy. It's about speed, whether it's first thing in the morning or maybe in the evening after the gym. It's the efficient solution.
Which is contrasted so sharply with the bath. That's a total commitment to relaxation.
Correct. The bath is the total antithesis of the shower. You don't stand, you sit. It's exclusively for relaxation, for slowing down.
Right.
People add oils, bubbles. It's a dedicated 15-20 minutes of deliberate inactivity, often on a cold night. The choice between shower and bath really illustrates that negotiation between the demand for speed and the need for calm.
We're clean, we're awake. Now we're moving into the domain of domestic structure. Let's look at the vocabulary of tidiness, starting with make your bed.
It's such a simple phrase, but it's surprisingly rich.
Yeah.
The sources make a point to define make your bed as simply fixing it. Pulling the blanket straight, putting the pillow in place, it's a 2-minute job.
And they emphasize the huge psychological return on that tiny investment. People say they feel more ready for the day. The room looks tidy. It feels fresh. It's not just tidying the room. It tidies your mind.
It's an anchor. It is the first victory of the day. By doing that one tiny disciplined thing, you're setting a precedent that you are in control of your environment.
And building on that, you have the larger category, which is do the housework.
Right. The umbrella term for all the small cleaning jobs, dishes, sweeping, cleaning the bathroom, taking out the trash.
And this is structured differently.
Very differently. It's not a morning sprint. It's a dedicated block of time, usually on the weekend. The sources show a clear pattern here. People do the big tasks, washing the floor, cleaning the kitchen on Saturday mornings or maybe Sunday afternoons.
Sometimes with music, right?
Yeah, with music playing or getting the kids involved. It signals a shift. We don't do daily deep cleans. We batch our cleaning into these weekend rituals.
Which is so true to life. And right alongside that cleaning structure is the phrase for getting stuff. Do the shopping.
Defined as going to the store, buying necessities, food, toiletries, supplies. But the key insight here, which the sources really stress, is the grammar. It's rigid.
What do you mean?
You must say, do the shopping. The sources explicitly warn you, do not say, make the shopping or buy the shopping. It's a set phrase, and that reflects the ritualized nature of the task.
And the routines around it are so specific. People doing it on Fridays with a strict list, bread, milk, eggs. Or making it a longer ritual on a Sunday with the kids, and always buying a treat.
Yes. The treat. It's that constant balance again between necessity and pleasure. You need the list for efficiency, but you need the treat for morale.
So these phrases aren't just vocabulary.
No. They're containers for all our domestic compromises.
Okay, we've covered the start and the middle. Let's loop back to the end of the day, back to that initial tension. And the lead up to that is the phrase, have a late night.
Having a late night. It's defined pretty straightforwardly. Going to bed very late, midnight or after.
And the reasons are what you'd expect. A long film. Or, and this is key, staying up, scrolling on your phone.
Yeah, checking messages, funny videos until almost 1 in the morning. Or being out with friends, getting home late.
And the consensus on the result is universal.
Oh, absolutely. The consequence is feeling sleepy, tired, just not great the next day. It's a known bad outcome.
So why do we do it? The sources point to that phone scrolling, that intentional choice to delay sleep.
If you synthesize the anecdotes, you see this pattern. It's almost like a form of self-sabotage, but it comes from a feeling of not having control over your daylight hours.
So you're fighting back.
You're fighting back against the day's obligations by sacrificing your own sleep. You're trading rest for a sense of freedom, even if that freedom is just staring at a screen for an hour.
It's a way of reclaiming personal time.
Exactly. And that leads us directly to the most critical distinction in this entire deep dive, go to bed versus go to sleep.
Okay, let's revisit this. Let's unpack that 1 hour gap we started with. What is the fundamental definition of go to bed?
Go to bed is purely operational. It's the physical action. You walk to the bedroom, you turn off the lights, you lie down. Crucially, you are still awake. You're physically ready, but your mind is still engaged. You might be reading or thinking or scrolling. The sources highlight the person who goes to bed at 10:30 but doesn't fall asleep right away.
And that distinction is so important. It validates that period of mental decompression. If you just say, I went to sleep at 10:30, you're ignoring the work the brain still has to do to shut down.
Precisely. Go to sleep is the actual end state. Eyes closed, body resting, consciousness suspended. So the person who goes to bed at 10:30 but doesn't go to sleep until 11:00, They need that full 30 minutes for their brain to stop thinking.
And the sources really leaned into how different this is for people.
Yeah.
You have anecdotes about how hard it is lying there for half an hour with a brain that won't shut off versus the lucky few who can go to sleep in 5 minutes.
It confirms that this transition from go to bed to go to sleep is often the hardest part of the entire daily routine.
It's the final act of surrender.
It is. It's the surrender to rest. And that initial example, going to bed at midnight but not falling asleep until 1 a.m., perfectly summarizes why this subtle linguistic difference is so profound. The language isn't just describing an action, it's measuring our self-control.
And our need for mental space. So what's the big picture here? We've traced this journey from the struggle between wake up and get up, the choice between a quick shower and a slow bath, and this final mental negotiation between go to bed and go to sleep.
I think the synthesis is that when you understand these phrases, you can actually articulate your relationship with time and rest much more precisely. The sources show that we are constantly negotiating.
Right.
We're always balancing efficiency, the quick shower, the 2-minute bed making, with this desperate need for relaxation and resistance, the 15 minutes of delay in the morning, the 30 minutes of winding down at night.
So language isn't just describing our routine.
No, it's mapping the psychological cost of modern life.
It really changes how you see your own day. Every little part of your routine is suddenly a decision point.
It is. And if we connect this all back to that hour of resistance at the end of the day, it raises a really interesting question for you to think about.
Okay.
The sources show that people often delay the moment they actually go to sleep, long after they've gone to bed. So what does the length of time between when you go to bed and when you go to sleep really say about the amount of quiet, unmanaged, reflective space you allow yourself at the very end of every single day?
That gap, that's the final frontier, isn't it? Something to consider next time you lie down and those minutes start ticking by. Thanks for diving deep with us. Now go forth and analyze your own routine.